You asked for it, and we're finally doing it. So for the intro, it's a pretty repetitive pattern. The first 2 times through the pattern, Josh has a lead lick. The second 2 times, I have a lead lick. The main rhythm pattern, however, starts with this shape right here. And what we're having is on the 5th string, we're on the 10th fret. On the 4th string, we're on the 12th fret. And on the 3rd string, we're on the 11th fret. So that kind of looks like the first couple notes of like a major 7 shape, if you're familiar with what that is. And we're going to only pick those 3 strings. Then we're going to hammer on the 14th fret on that 3rd string. And we're going to play a rhythm like this. So it's going to require a bit of dexterity with your pinky, a bit of pinky strength. But that's the first part of it. Then we're going to switch this index finger. We're going to keep the ring and middle fingers here. And we're going to bar this chord right here. It does kind of feel weird, so pay attention to your thumb positioning on the back of the neck. But we're going to go... We're still not strumming past the 3rd string, but now we have the 6th and 5th strings barred on the 9th fret. And then we're just going to play a basic drop D power chord on the 7th fret. You can add 9th fret on the 3rd string for some flavor, if you'd like. I do that live. So all together we have... That's going to repeat essentially 4 times. But on the 3rd and 4th time, I'm going to be playing a lead lick. So that's where the lead lick is going to be. Now, whenever we play this, we are on the 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th fret. And we're going to be going 16, 17, 16, open on the 4th string. Then we're going to do open on the 5th string, 17, 19, 17, 14. So it's a lot of hammer-ons and pull-offs. The picking, I'm really only picking the beginning of each string and then the final note down at the 14th fret. That right there. I do play another lick on the 4th time. So that would be... We have something similar going on, still starting on the 16th and 17th frets on the 4th string, but we're going back and forth between the 2. And then walking it back down. So we're going 16, 17, 16, 17, 19, 17, 16, and then we're going to play the 17th fret on the 5th string. And that's in vibrato. Then, as things start to die down and Josh is playing the chords of the transition into the verse, I do play a lick that right there. And essentially what that is we are on the 16th fret of the 4th string, 14th fret of the 4th string, 17th fret of the 5th, walk down to 16, 14. And essentially that's outlining, if you're familiar with your scales, the first 4 notes of a minor scale in this position. And then I walk it down one more step to the 12th fret, still on that 5th string. So altogether that's sustain that into the verse. A little bit less gain for this section. It's really just 3 shapes. We're going to be playing an open drop D power chord, which is going to be the 6th, 5th, and 4th strings open. So you just strum that on beat 1. Then I do that right there. To those of you who are a bit advanced at guitar, you're going to know that that's just simply a harmonic. For those of you that have never done a harmonic, essentially what you're doing is you're laying your finger right over the actual fret. Not up to the fret how you would usually press a string, but over the fret with very, very minimal pressure at all. In fact, I'm not even pressing down on the string. And what I'm doing is I'm plucking 6, 5, 4, 5, all on the 5th fret. And right afterwards, those are 8th notes, I'm actually going to press down on the 5th fret. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2. And that's all I'm doing in that section until the last time through that part of the verse, the last repetition. We're going to build on the open power chord, then go to the 5. And that's going to build into the chorus. It starts on the 1, and you're making an octave shape on the 5th fret of the 5th string and the 7th fret of the 3rd string. So and you're going just up whole steps from referencing the root note from 5, 7, 9. And then we're going to go to our power chord shape that's barred, since we're on drop D, from the 4th fret to the 5th fret. And I kind of freehand it every time. I do what kind of feels good, but as you can tell, it's a very syncopated rhythm. But it's just a matter of landing on the chords when they hit. And that kind of repeats itself. Except in the following repetitions of the chorus, I'll play this rhythm. So you can feel that kind of rocks back and forth and almost kind of creates this polyrhythmic thing. The chorus is repeated a total of 4 times. The first time being the first rhythm I showed you with just one guitar, the rest of it being full band. And then we're going to go into the post-chorus riff, which we only do once, but this one's also going to involve some barred power chord shapes. We've got the 9th fret, 4, 5. So that's in between those gaps where I'm just keeping time with my right hand, we're going to be doing some little emo-ish hammer-on licks as anticipated. If you ever listen to our music, they're everywhere. But essentially, I'm doing almost everything on the 4th string with these licks. So the first one. What that is, it's 4, 5, 4, open, 7, open. So like that. And da 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 da. It's important that you don't rush the pull off of the 7th fret. And we're going to do that again. This time, instead of doing the 9th fret pull off on the 4th string, we're actually going to the 5th string on the 2nd fret. But the first part stays the same. So we have... Then we're going to go back to the first one. And into the second verse. For the bridge, this starts out with just Javon, and it also, from my part, includes a bit of feedback. Let the guitar squeal against the amplifier, so if you want to do that whenever you're practicing loud at home, it's cool. After everything drops and we say, still alive, we all go into the same riff, and it's all unison. Everyone plays it at the same time. And what it is it's based around that same open 3-string drop D power chord we have been playing. But the lick is going to be on the 4th and 5th strings for the first part. You have a couple choices here. On the record and live, we do try to slide this, but we're going on the 4th string, we're doing 4th fret, 2nd fret, and then on the 5th string, we're doing 2nd fret, 4th fret, so backwards. And whenever you pick everything individually, it looks like this. Something that helps me is that kind of bar, these 2 strings right here, to get that bleed over into the next note. Or you can slide them, which I prefer to do because I think it sounds a little bit cooler. So I'm kind of rocking from the pad of my finger to the tip of my finger whenever I do that. Next part, to continue that riff. There's a little syncopated rhythm there again, but we're doing open, open, 2, open, 4, open. So all together we have second time we're going to kind of change it up. So instead of we're doing open 2, open 4, and you can kind of bend that note on the 4th fret to kind of give it some attitude. So all together the bridge sounds like definitely want to dig into the fretboard when you're doing that, and you also want to just kind of play that part very aggressively, and the key to making it sound cool is the length of the notes. Then we go into another chorus. After the second chorus, we go into something very reminiscent of the intro. For me, at least, it's almost exactly the same, except I'm never going into the licks. So we're going to, again, go back to the beginning and do... So you can kind of hear it kind of holds itself out a little bit longer and takes a minute to resolve into those next chords. But it's essentially the same techniques. You just kind of have to listen and time the pinky additions and then go to the same 9th fret, 7th fret thing. But then we go into a new riff. This new riff, for me, starts out on the 5th fret, and it's very much just power chord shapes until we get to the part that kind of peaks in. Only twice. And the rhythm sounds like this. Without all the extra little gallops and stuff, it's just... Now we're going to be walking this up. 5th, 7th, and 9th frets. Again, just whole steps. Then we're going to get into this high part. It's a little bit tricky. We're going to make this shape right here. We're going to be barring from the 4th string down. You can really exclude the high E. It's not necessary. On the 12th fret. So 4th, 3rd, and 2nd strings on the 12th fret. Then we're going to put our ring finger on the 14th fret of the 3rd string and the 15th fret of the 2nd string. And what we're going to do is we're going to play that shape, and then we're going to move the pinky down 1 fret that goes right under our ring finger. Just quarter notes. Tricky part's going to be switching to that shape. Then that repeats, and then we just hold out that 5th fret harmonic again. So all together. For effect, if you have a double volume guitar, you can do this kill switch thing, which I snuck into the record, and I'll do live. And then it goes into Sable. I don't play until a nut starts click, 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 click. So the first shape is kind of weird. We're going to place our ring finger on the 9th fret of the 6th string. We're going to kind of use the pad of our finger to mute the 5th string. We're not really using it. Then we're going to bar the 4th, 3rd, and really if you want the 2nd string on the 7th fret. And the reason why I say if you want is because you can kind of feel if you want to add another color note to the chord or not. The playing just kind of varies. I'm not super meticulous about what I'm doing as long as it's like the same chord shape. And all together, if you dig in properly and you're actually muting this 5th string right here, you should get that. So in this case, I am muting the 2nd string, and I'm muting the 1st string, and I'm muting the 5th string. So I'm able to dig into all the strings of the guitar and play that. Second chord shape. We're going to bar essentially everything on the 5th fret except for maybe lighten up some pressure on the high E because we're not really using it. But you can throw it in there. It's a very pretty color note. So we're barring everything on the 5th fret, and then we're barring, we're fretting the 7th fret of the 3rd string and the 2nd string. And what we get is that shape right there. Then the next shape is just simply muting that 6th string and moving your bar to start on the 5th string. And all it's really doing is shifting the focus of the root note of the chord. So, wasn't afraid to show my teeth. So those first 2 chords are being held for 4 beats. Third chord is being held for 8. Right as we're about to go into the result is rather different, that section, we're going to add a 4th chord. So, Sable who I've always strived to be. And all I'm doing is lifting the bar from the chord and playing the 5th string on the 4th fret over here and kind of muting on the 4th string. So we get kind of like a, probably wrong, half diminished thing. Again, it's just kind of changing the focus of the bass note. Then we're going to play the same chords, but we're going to kind of play them on the backbeat. playing on the backbeat, I'm kind of giving it the hint of the 1 every 8 beats. And then eventually we start to build. We're going to play our slightly diminished shape, very staccato on the last 4 beats before we go into the final riff. It's all octaves for the most part until we start walking down from climbing up. So we're doing octaves on the 5th and 3rd string, 2nd fret. So that's 2, 4, 5. Then we're going to do 9, 7. And we're going to make this shape right here where we actually bar this power chord on the 5th fret, starting on the lowest string. So we're going to do it again. But this time, instead of going down to the 5th fret, we're just going to go from the 7th on the 5th into the bar, or the 7th, the 5th string on the 7th fret to the bar on the 7th fret. So you can do that twice. Bar shape on the 9th, adding the ring finger on the 3rd string, 11th fret, walk down 2 steps, walk down 2 more steps. Hold it out, song is finished. Damn. That kinda hurt. Alright. How should I start this? Oh, my hair's being crazy.
Hi, I'm Bordy, and this is Four Dogs.
Over and over again, we play this song. I'm kidding, that was a really shitty song.